Welcome to the second video in this series of designing my own 3D printer from one-up parts. Today we're going to talk about the overall design and mechanics of the new and improved 3D printer. Now what I'm just using for this design is just a quick sketch I made in my notebook. But I can also do this in a 3D CAD software. I just don't really feel like taking the time, and then it'll works just fine for me. So let me show you. Oh no! Okay, so I was filming. I was moving the tripod over to adjust it so that I could properly see my notebook that I have all my designs on. I didn't know it was filming when I was doing that, so I went to start the filming, but I stopped it instead of starting it because it was already going, so I just lost all that. So when I first start talking, I'm talking about the X gantry first, then I go on to the Y, and I did get the recording of the Y gantry, but the footage that I'm about to roll right now is the footage from me explaining how I'm going to attach the E3D hot end to the extruder assembly. So that'll make sense once you see the drawings and stuff. Basically, all we missed was me talking about the X gantry. So basically all I said was I'm going to have 3D printed parts for the left and right sides to hold the Z-axis linear rods onto the X-axis linear rods. It all makes sense when you see the rest of the video recording. Anyway, though, I'm going to stop blabbing and let you actually see the footage. So here you go. So you have your extruder here, and then you have a little part that comes up, and this is where you have all your notches for the heat sink. And then you have it goes up, and a little inlet, and then ends. So this little inlet is where I'm going to have screws, M3 screws going into to hold it in place. So there's going to be a screw right there, and a screw right there, which will be much better than a friction fit. Now I am still using the old one-up print bed just because it's the best thing I have laying around, and it already has a leveling system built into it, so I won't have to worry about designing that. Now, one of the ways I'm making this much more rigid is here, 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 and here are the main weak points of this printer, simply because these linear rods are not properly strengthened enough in the points where they attach to the rest of the frame, causing wobble. In these points, I'm going to have tight screws and washers to make sure that they are on nice and tight, because the tops of my linear rods are tapped in for screws. I'm going to do a similar system down at the base with some extra reinforcement triangles right here to keep it stable. Now I didn't have enough room to show it in the drawing, but behind all this system there will be a NEMA 17 stepper motor to run X-axis so that we can move the extruder assembly left to right, and that will be mounted on the back of this left X gantry end cap. Well, I hope all of that made sense to you, and my apologies if I was a little unclear in some parts. A lot of these ideas make a lot more sense in my brain than they do on paper, but trust me, when we start the production, it will all make sense. I'm Josiah. Thanks for watching.